Hey guys, can't say I didn't warn you. This particular Daily Darkness, I'm gonna bitch and rant a little. Many of you may or may not know that the other day there was a trend going on. Basically, it was trending on Twitter, Facebook, almost all social media. Hashtag heterosexual Pride Day. Basically, people wanted to have like a heterosexual Pride Day on the end of the month of June because, they feel that we're not being equal because we're not celebrating heterosexual Pride Day on top of Pride itself. And to me, it pisses me off because the thing of it is it's complete and utter fucking ignorance. It's like walking around saying, hey, there should be a Caucasian History Month. Every month is fucking Caucasian History Month. Um, that's why we have Pride. The reason why there isn't heterosexual Pride is because heterosexuals, by most counts, are not oppressed, are basically, not, assaulted or attacked for being who they are on a regular basis. You know, we celebrate Pride in order to basically celebrate a day where we're free of our normal day to day prosecution. And that's basically where that comes from. You know, hell, I'm currently unemployed, having difficulty finding a job. The state of West Virginia, and because I got to report to West Virginia, Maryland, and PA, I got to apply to 10 jobs a week. Going to a job interview, granted, I'd be dressed a little bit more decent than this. It's hot, what can I say? But the thing of it is that 9 times out of 10, somebody were to show up that was a male, hetero, cisgender, chances are he's going to get hired over me. It happens. And that sucks. But that's why we have Pride, because there's days that we're persecuted. You know, that's why we have Black History Month, because they went through a lot. I mean, I wish we did something more for the Native Americans for what everything, happened to them. But it's an unfortunate circumstance, and I just hate the way that people feel privileged, that are normally privileged for everything, feel that they should be entitled to a day too. And it's like, the reason why we're celebrating this is because y'all are entitled to that shit every day. Give us our day, give us our month, and don't start, pissing and moaning about it. And that's one of the biggest problems that I have. I mean, it's just so angering. And don't mind me, I've made some notes about some of the shit I want to bitch about. But, the old saying, when you're accustomed to privilege, equality seems like oppression. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand what equality really fucking means. Equality basically means that, hey, we're not trying to treat everything that's different similarly. We're treating everything in the appropriate manner that are different for different reasons, but it's all being treated and handled appropriately. It's not trying to label everything under the ground and everything is the same. And it pisses me off, especially like with what happened in Orlando, when most of the news media outlets, they only want to focus on the terrorist attack. They only want to focus on, the violence that happened. They don't want to focus on the fact that, hey, this was a community that was targeted during Pride Month. This was the Latin LGBTQIA community that was targeted. Nobody wants to say that because everybody wants to feel that we're all equal. If we're all equal, how is it, that's not how it is all the time? You all want to consider us all Americans and people just like everybody else, then that needs to apply every day of the week, not when you feel that you're being oppressed because we have a month where we're celebrating who we are because we're oppressed every goddamn day. Just saying. And, me, I get it. I've gone through the struggles. I thought last year, I don't know if some of you saw my post earlier today, I thought last year when I came out at work, and tried to push for changes so that the LGBTQ community would be more accepted, I didn't think I'd have so much of the back and forth that I had with work. Because, granted, and I'm not mentioning any names, First Data, Wells Fargo, but the thing of it is that in other areas outside of Hagerstown, in like their, Melville and, New York and, fucking Nebraska areas that they have, Florida, they all have like organizations. I pushed and I blew whistles trying to make things change. I thought because the company had policies out there for other locations that it was going to apply the same to the location I worked at. Don't let it be said that Hagerstown is, open and understanding and things of that nature, because they're not. There was so much hate and so much anger. It's terrible. Like, somebody had, dead named me while I was on the phone with a customer, and that person was talked to, but no discipline was ever done. And I find that kind of ignorant, and it's like they watched every move that I did because I pushed for this. And, let's face it, at the end of the day, that's why I was fired. I mean, I was locked out of the building for an hour, before they could even tell me anything. They tried to blame it on social media and other bullshit, but that's straight down what it was. Company I worked for 13 years, no issues until I came out and said, hey, let's try to make this more accepting. Fired, right off the bat. How many people in, the heterosexual community can, say that they've had that experience? They came out hetero at work and they've gotten fired. Not fucking many. And then the other thing that upsets me too is Hagerstown fucking again. Over 2 years ago, March, many of you've heard about this. I went to a bar and cafe that was in Hagerstown. Now it's closed, thank God. But, I went to a bar and grill in Hagerstown, and I went to use the ladies' room, and I got denied from using the restroom. Never was a problem any other time before. And you just can't believe it. And how many heterosexual people had that problem? I mean, it's such fucking horse shit. And I love it when people's like, well, yeah, you have resources out there. There's the ACLU and the Equal, Employment Opportunity Commission and everything else. And I'm like, so the Commission on Civil Rights, I had to push them to get motion on what happened at Hard Times. Right now, I'm working with the Equal Employment Opportunity Center to try to basically fix what happened with, I already mentioned it, fuck it, first out. Because the problem of it is that, hey, this type of shit needs to stop, needs to be recognized. But I don't see the ACLU and Lambda Legal jumping in my lap to try to help me. Because, if I'm not killed, raped, or beaten to death, they could give two fucks. And that's the reality of the situation. If I don't make headlines, they could care the fuck less. I even reached out to the local community about my issues. I even started a GoFundMe. Many of you have seen that. The GoFundMe, or GoFund.me/Sasha Fired. Some of the people from my own, the transgender community, the LGBTQ community is like, oh, she's just trying to scam people to make money. Bull fucking shit. I'm broke and unemployed because of a hateful employer in Hagerstown, Maryland. I've been harassed by people in the local area, and I've tried to pursue things. Yes, there's laws on the books, but nobody knows how to fucking persecute on those. So it pisses me off when people out there just wants to say, hey, let's have a heterosexual pride day. Everything's supposed to be equal. Da, 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 da. Bullshit. Show me one instance where somebody got fired while being white. Show me one instance where somebody got, kicked out of a restroom for being a, cisgender person. It's total shit. And, I just don't get it. Equality is not what y'all think it is, where it's all level playing field. Equality, at the end of the day, is when we realize our fucking differences, and we treat everything differently, but equally, not trying to make everything and handle it in a similar manner. Just because we have Black History Month doesn't mean y'all get fucking Caucasian History Month. Doesn't work that way, because y'all have that every day of the fucking year. Okay? On top of that, just because we have Pride Month doesn't mean that you're going to get a heterosexual Pride Month. Because the day you all tell me that you had such a hard time telling your mom that you're straight, then I might consider it. But, stop acting the way that you are. If you saw a rich person walk into a soup kitchen, are you going to say, well, golly gee, he's just exercising his ability to get a free meal? It's not the way it works. If you want to promote equality, actually fucking promote it. Acknowledge that there are differences that are out there. Acknowledge that there are people that are oppressed. and fucking address it. We're not going to be equal if you want to put us all on a level playing field half the fucking time. And that's all I gotta say for the moment. I'm pissed. I'm fucking angry. I'm fighting back tears because it just pisses me off. I mean, I have been somebody that's been victimized for being part of the LGBTQIA community. Yes, I always throw in the QIA. For those that don't know, Q stands for queer, which is kind of like a overall broad map that kind of encompasses all sexualities, your polyamorouses, your pansexuals, and the rest. I is intersex, those that don't fit into your standard cis-binary and transgender categories, like your gender fluids, things of that nature. And then finally, you've got the A, which is for agendered as well as allies. And agender and asexual are basically those who don't choose to identify as a sexuality or things of that nature. I get asked that question a lot, and I just figured I'd fucking address it now. But that's why we have such a long acronym. But at the end of the day, that's just me. That's why I'm pissed today. I'm somebody that basically has been victimized for being myself. You know, I lost my job at First Data, who also had partnerships with Wells Fargo, so you can tell both of them to go fuck themselves. I had issues at Hard Time Cafe, which still operates in fucking Frederick, just to use the facilities, and I'm not out there to hurt any fucking buddy. You know, I'm just there to piss and leave. In fact, when they put me in the men's room, I was almost raped and beaten and attacked if it wasn't for fucking friends that were there. So yes, I'm fucking angry. I'm pissed off. The next person that says, oh, we need a heterosexual pride day, I'm busting my foot off in your ass. Because if you have that situation, you know, or if you ever have that situation where you're fired from your job for being you, or basically refuse to use basic public necessities because of who you are, come see me. We'll talk about it then. Till then, let me chill out before we address other topics. Take care, guys.